The beauty of the IPL, and we keep saying this, is in the fact that on a given day, any one team can beat the other team. Now, yesterday, if we saw a nail biting finish where the Sunrisers Hyderabad won by 2 runs, today was a different story again. Another nail biting finish, a side winning a game off the last ball, and a side like the Rajasthan Royals that we discussed yesterday, who hadn't dropped a single game so far in this tournament, finally tasting the first taste of defeat in this tournament, with GT winning against them at their home ground in Jaipur. Sarvesh, the tournament's hotting up. We're starting to get all these close finishes because I think that initial
Yeah.
rustiness of players has gone away and everybody's now really geared up for this.
Yes, 24 games done. That's one third of the IPL is over, and now finally we can see that all teams have dropped points. So I think this is where the season starts picking up, and I think now all teams realize that they cannot. Some teams realize that they cannot drop points. They just have to win no matter what. So I think you will see a lot of such games where teams from the bottom half will basically outclass team from the top five. So I think this is just a start. But yeah, Rajasthan dropped points today.
Absolutely. Let's have a quick look at what exactly happened in the game. As we can see from our scorecard, the Royals batting first, 196 for 3. Thank you once again to Mr. Consistent, Riyan Parag, 76 of 48 this time. Again, ably supported by his captain, who's also been in a good run of form, 68 not out of 38. Good to see Yashasvi Jaiswal get some runs today for the first time in the tournament. And then Shimron Hetmyer with a little cameo at the end, helping them to get to 196. In reply, GT getting home on the last ball of the game with Rashid Khan slashing one over point. But yeah, a very similar scorecard to the one that we saw in the first innings with
Yeah.
Shuman Gill, the captain, top scoring 72 of 44, and then supported by Sudarshan and Rashid Khan and Rahul Tewatia. But we'll talk about everything and more. But let's have a first quick look at this batting card for the Royals. Now, one of the things we always say is, that every team in this tournament has a template. We see Sunrisers Hyderabad have a template. They just keep going from ball one. We see Chennai Super Kings have a template where they've given the license to Rachin Ravindra, and then in the middle order they've got Shivam Dubey and etc. etc. But every single team in this tournament has a template. What is the template of the Royal Sarvesh according to you? Because we've seen them play according to situations. I think adapting to situations is kind of their template. Would you agree?
I think the template is their middle order. They tend to take pressure off from their top order, and then they also do some favors to their bottom, to their lower middle order, because they don't leave too much of work for the lower middle order. Even when the top order is failing, they are compensating for those failures with some outstanding batting from number 3, number 4. So I think that middle order of Sanju Samson and Riyak Parak, they are actually uh, playing as shock absorbers, where they are not allowing anyone else to feel those impacts, and they are just taking it to them, and from there they are just launching a very good platform for the finishers to come. And you'll realize that not a lot of Shimran Hetmyer and Dhruv Jurel, these guys haven't played a lot of deliveries this season. I think one of the reasons for that is that Sanju Samson's number 3 spot, and then Riyan Parak, these two guys have been very consistent.
One of the questions I have for you is we saw that Sanju Samson came to bat before Riyan Parag,
Yeah.
and I actually did a little calculation when that happened. He came to bat 10 balls before Riyan Parag.
Yeah.
By the time the innings finished, we see that Riyan Parag has played 10 balls more than Sanju Samson, while Sanju Samson actually played right throughout the innings and was not out till the end.
Yeah.
How important is this grabbing of the strike? Because if you see the strike rates of Riyan Parag and Sanju Samson, 158, 178, are we right in saying that Rajasthan Royals would have been better served if it was Sanju Samson who had got more of the strike than Riyan Parag? Or you cannot think that way because that's how it pans out in the end?
I think uh, in my opinion, they both had different roles. Sanju Samson, he is batting at that number three spot, and at number three spot, you need somebody, or you have somebody who can play spin well. Sanju Samson is a known hitter of spin bowling. He has smash, Hasranga, from Hasranga to all the quality spinners, everyone. So he is somebody who knows that his strength is against spin as well as seam. So he's not afraid of going after any of the spinners or seamers. But today you'll realize that he was not taking a lot of risks again the GT's spinners. He did not score a single boundary of Rashid Khan and the typical GT. What we normally see that they just go after their spinners normally go after opponents in that middle phase, and they just don't give anything away. So that kind of a thing was happening, and Sanju Samson played it very smartly. He did not score a single boundary. He just scored at run up ball against them, but his all those catching up was done against the seamers. So I think that's the kind of role I felt that he had it for himself, that he will going to be there, he will going to stay there till the end, and he'll just play it around against those spinners. So I think that's the kind of role that he had, that he will give strike back to Riyan Parag and he will remain there till the end, and that's exactly what he did.
One of the things I loved about their partnership was the kind of calmness both of them had at the crease. Normally when you are looking to set a total, sometimes you can panic by thinking we need too much or we
Yeah.
need to go too hard. But both of these guys were just so cool, calm, collected, and always seemed in control. You got the feeling that they had a number in their mind and they knew they've got the ability to get there. They focused on getting set first, gave themselves a little bit of time, and as soon as they got a measure of the pitch and the bowling, they were dispatching the bad ones away. Um, let's talk quickly about Riyan Parag as well. I mean, we've spoken at length about how much effort he's put in um, off the field
Yeah.
to get to this point. But like in this middle order now, he's become one of the guns of this IPL, one of the success stories of this IPL.
Yeah.
I mean, Virat Kohli, I don't know whether he still has the purple cap or it's been passed on to back to Riyan Parag
No,
now.
it's still
Um,
there.
Still with Virat, yeah,
Yeah.
because of his 100.
Yes.
But to kind of, be nowhere and then kind of compete with Virat Kohli for that orange cap with the kind of runs and the kind of consistency, it's a phenomenal turnaround for him, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you realize that now in this top four, uh, at number two we have Riyan Parag, number three Shubman Gill, number four Sanju Samson, number five Sai Sudarshan. So these guys, all of them played today, and they are in that occupying those top four spots. And Riyan Parag has been uh, batting consistently. His numbers. I mean, if you look at his batting average, it says 87 is his batting average, and striking at around 158. And you see these numbers from seasoned campaigners. You do not see these numbers from a 22 year old players, because this kind of performances require a lot of maturity, and he's showing that kind of a maturity this season. You will also realize that he has scored 29.3% of his team's runs. So for somebody like Riyan Parag to step up and do this on a regular basis and scoring and taking care of those many that percentage of runs, I think it's a very good sign. And he is indeed stepping up, and him along with Sanju Samson, these two guys are literally running that top order for them, because we are still not seeing those runs from Yashasvi Jaiswal, and apart from that last innings from Butler, I think we haven't seen him scoring well as well. So I think these are the two guys which have kept them in that hunt, and they have just lost one game. I think a lot of credit should go to these two guys.
Another thing that strikes me on that leaderboard is just maybe, and I say maybe because you never know what happens, but just maybe those top four names might all four of them be at the T20 World Cup for India in the West Indies.
I mean, it's too early to say anything. I mean, we just cannot pinpoint at this point. Still, plenty of games to play. We still don't know what are the combinations which are going to be there. No spot. No, I don't think any of the top four spots apart from the captain are nailed on. So I think anything can happen. Even you'll see that Sanju Samson, Rishabh Pant, these two guys will keep fighting for that wicket keeper spot.
Wicket
Opener
keeper
spot is
spot.
open. Number 5, number 4, everything is open.
Yeah. All right, let's have a quick look at what GT did with the ball today. There we have it. Now, we spoke about in our preview yesterday when we showed the head to head and the matchups. There was one stat that caught my eye, and we discussed a bit about it, saying that most of the player of the match winners in the head to head have either left that side or they're injured. So, not many of them left. But there was one name there which I saw, which was the name of Rashid
Rashid
Khan.
Khan. Yeah.
We've said this before that he looked a bit rusty coming back from injury, lack of cricket and all of that, but boy did he turn up today, and not just with the ball but with the bat for them as well. In a 190 game,
Yeah.
if you're coming up with figures of 4 overs 1 for 18, what more can you say about this man?
And that one wicket is also of a centurion from the last game. So that tells you
Yeah.
the impact. Even though it's just a one wicket, he has bowled at an economy of 4.5 when the entire team has gone for almost 10 runs per over. So that tells you that he's now again slowly coming back to his usual best is what we can say. And I wanted to talk about something. Now Rashid Khan against Butler is this for this one matchup I was looking forward. Looking forward to in this match, and I can see that now the numbers for Butler against Rashid Khan since 2018 are something like this. He has scored 30 runs from 47 deliveries of Rashid Khan, so that strike rate is pretty low, and he has been dismissed 4 times in the process. So that tells you Josh Butler, he's a champion batsman. He has been scoring runs quickly and consistently. But Rashid Khan is one guy, he hasn't scored, Butler hasn't scored too many runs against him, and he has been getting him out on a consistent basis. So this was a very good matchup I was looking forward to today, and I think Rashid did not disappoint me. In the first over itself, those couple of dots, and Butler was gone.
In the post-match interview today, they were asking him about his bowling, and one of the things he said was, he said in those first 2 3 games, I wasn't very happy with myself because obviously knowing the champion cricketer that he is, he sets himself such high standards
Yeah.
that when the ball's not coming right off his hand, he kind of had that feeling. And he says, I was working hard behind the scenes, and he said it's good to see all that hard work paying off today. And finally, the ball is coming out like I wanted to come out of my hand. And just goes to show, even though you might be the greatest T20 bowler in the world, you still go through uh, days and times when things don't go your way. But obviously, his character shining through all of that, and now he's come back and looks like he can be that banker again that GT
Yeah.
have depended on over the last 2 seasons, especially with Mohammad Shami missing.
Yeah.
And you look at this bowling card today, if you take Rashid's figures out, just
Yeah.
imagine if he had to go at 40 of his 4 overs, you would have been looking at 220 plus
Yeah.
for for a
Yeah,
chase.
because most of the other bowlers they went for at least 9 runs per over, and Rashid's 4.5 actually compensated for the damage that others cause. And I think, uh, I mean, this bowling attack, we know there are some difficulties that these guys are facing, and they have been Hardik is not there and Shami is not there. So these two bowlers they used to bowl like at least 7 8 overs for them till last season, and now suddenly these guys they do not have him. We cannot forget Yash Jayal as well, even he is gone. So I think this attack is a this is a very new attack. And apart, if you remove Rashid Khan and Noor Ahmed and of course Mohit Sharma, I think other 3 4 bowlers are not here. Only these 3 guys are there from the previous year's team. So I think Rashid has that responsibility to hold this attack together, and I think he's doing a brilliant job again.
Perfect. Right. So chasing 194 for victory was GT. Got off to a decent start with Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill. But then came a young guy, again impressing everyone with his pace, called Kuldeep Sen. Flutters in the middle, 2 wickets in an over, and 3 in quick time. So reducing them from a position which was good to a position which was very precarious.
Yeah.
And then that lower order or late middle order and lower order rescuing them to kind of get home on the last ball. Um, Question for you: they've decided. they don't want to open with Saha anymore. They've decided they want to go with Sai Sudarshan. Um, 35 of 29 in a 199 run chase. Um, Looks pretty slow to begin with, but of course he had Gill at the other end who was kind of going at a slightly better rate, which kind of made it look like a much better start than it was.
I don't think it was a good start, to be honest. They were 44 for no loss after 6 overs, and in 200 kind of run chases, you need your team to be somewhere around 55 for one wicket after 6 overs, because you can afford to lose that one wicket, but you cannot afford to go behind by 12 15 runs in that first phase. So I think that's where I think they started going behind, and RR had that initial lead again over GT. That they were always ahead by 10, 12 runs. If you look at this comparisons, RR were always ahead by 10, 12, 13, 14 runs. And this power play was the major reason for that. And I think Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill, if you look at this partnership, these two guys are pretty similar when they start. So these two guys are not going to score a couple of fours or sixes right from the first over, right from ball number one, because these guys they are pretty similar in the way they start. They take some time, and they once they get going, they try to compensate for that. So normally you don't see such batters batting together. But again, if you don't have Sai Sudarshan in that top two, then you probably do not have any other slot for him. Maybe a case for him to bat at number three, but not beyond that. He has to bat in top three. Shubman Gill has to open. So they are in that situation where they are not very flexible with this. But I think in chases like this, they can really get stuck. I think we saw today, and I think they had a jailbreak from Rahul Tiwati and Rashid Khan, that with that late middle order surge. But I think they had a situation where things were not going in the correct direction for them, and mainly because of that power play. And even after that power play, when they were losing wicket, Matthew Wade looked out of touch, because he was somebody who was playing his first game of the season. Abhinav Manohar again, same thing, first game of the season. Shah Rukh Khan again, first game of the season. So you don't see these many batters playing their first game of the season in one game. So I think somewhere down the line, I felt tactically they should have probably eased these guys up, because that's a completely new looking middle order that you had for this game. And that means that Shubman Gill had to play a longish kind of an inning. He just had to stay there and allow the other batters to come in and take some time and then get going. So I think Shubman Gill's knock today, I think it played a major role. He got out at a very very difficult moment, very moment where GT wanted him to go on. But I think you need players to support. You need support cast. You just cannot have one man doing everything for you. And I think that support came at the right time for them from Rahul Tiwati and Rashid Khan.
I tend to agree with you because if you look at that middle order, like Matthew Wade is known for being the finisher for Australia.
Yeah.
At that T20 World Cup, which they won in the UAE, he was the man who was finishing the innings for them. Abhinav Manohar, in the last couple of seasons, we've seen him also come lower down the order and play that finisher's role. So for both of them to be pushed up today and bat at 3 and 4, I just thought something wasn't right. And as you said, maybe they've got too many of the same kind in their team, which means then they are not sure where to place them. So yeah, they'll have some thinking to do. They've got home today, but maybe still some thinking to do. There's another thing I wanted to talk to you about, and they were 79 for 3 in 10.4 overs when the wicket of Abhinav Manohar fell. After that, and in an absolute muddle at that point, because they needed more than about 120 runs still to win this game. After that, though, if you look at what has happened, 16 of 10, 22 of 11, 14 of 8, 24 of 11. Now, if you add all those runs together, 78 runs. If you add all those balls together, 40 balls.
Yeah.
So effectively, someone's come at that stage and played an innings of 78 of 40, which is a phenomenal innings, striking at 200. And with Shubman Gill playing a kind of an anchor's innings, it kind of worked together. Would you tend to agree?
Yes, I mean, this is the kind of template that teams have these days. That if you are having an anchor, then that there has to be a supporting cast to support that anchor. you just cannot have you need to have those hitters around that anchor who will just come and start going from ball number one. And I think these guys, Rahul Tewatia, Shah Rukh Khan, and Rashid Khan, these guys are known hitters. Even Abhinav Manohar, he was batting at number 4 today. He couldn't score many runs, but I think he's also somebody who does this job for them. So I think with so many players who can get going from ball number one, I think they are allowing themselves to play around a bit. They are giving some flexibility with Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill, because these two guys can take some time, and others can then basically start going from ball number one. Because even if you see Vijay Shankar, he played a very different role today. He was not looking to hang around. He was looking to take on the bowlers, and I think 16 from 10 in this situation, I think it's not a bad return. He did not cause any negative impact on the team. So I think these four guys down the order from number 5 to number 8, I think they had a job to do, and they played a very good supporting knocks today.
Just goes to show that even those small
Yeah.
contributions at the right time can have a huge impact on a game. I guess to sign off, the last question I have for you is there any batter in world cricket today who's got more swag than Rashid Khan when he plays his shots? I mean, he's just got this phenomenal bat speed of his, and just the ability to kind of place that ball with his wrists,
Yeah.
anywhere between, say, long on to point, and he can just use his wrist to kind of maneuver the ball.
Yeah.
How cool is Rashid Khan?
So we have seen his hitting last season. What he did to Mumbai Indians, in that game, we all remember.
Yeah.
And I think even before that, we knew about his ability, and his those wrists are typically very strong, and he uses them when he's bowling, and when he's batting, he just stays firm till the last moment. He watches the ball, till it comes very close, and then he just looks to guide it at the last moment. Those that flick of wrist, that those lap shots, those on the offside as well. Even if you bowl very full to him, he's able to just uh, touch the ball and tap the ball in those gaps. I mean, this is a special skill, and I think he's a champion of that. So I think when Rashid is in that kind of a mood, you need a different plan. I mean, we saw in that last over, and when I knew that they are going to bowl going to bowl Avesh Khan there in that over against Rashid Khan. I just knew that I think they are going to york him, and it might not work against Rashid. And the same thing, probably Rahul Tewatia, they bowled that bouncer to him. I think that was I felt there was some lack of planning there, because we have seen what Rahul Tewatia does when you bowl bouncers at him. We have seen Rashid Khan what he does when you bowl those lower full tosses or fuller deliveries. So I think those two guys, they got exactly what they wanted probably from the bowler. And I think you cannot ask for better deliveries when you are chasing like 15, 20 runs runs an over in the last game, in the last over especially.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, for his champion efforts today with both bat and ball, he was the man of the match again. What did the Royals do with the ball? Let's have a quick look at that. There we have it. No wickets for Trent Bolt with the new ball, and that always plays its part. But the interesting thing was Sanju Samson did not go back to him
Yeah.
at the death, and we know the reasons for that. Why? Because Trent Bolt isn't very effective in the death as he is with the new ball. He stuck with Avesh Khan, who's kind of won them a game previously with the ball, bowling at the death as well. We saw the first of Keshav Maharaj today, bought in the power play, but then later on again, not being bought in to finish his spell. We saw Ravichandran Ashwin going for runs today without any wickets. Yuji Chahal, I think, bowled well, but got taken to the cleaners a bit as well. And then we saw the young pace sensation, Kuldeep Sen, who effectively turned the match in favor of the Royals, and then with that one over towards the end, kind of moved the match away from the Royals as
Yeah.
well. So he's seen both sides of the pendulum today, the good and the bad.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, we saw a very different strategy from Rajasthan Royals today. They did not have Burger playing for them, but they had Keshav Maharaj. I think primarily they expected probably too many right-handers in that batting lineup, because apart from Sai Sudarshan and Matthew Wade, I don't know if they expected him to play. But I think there are just two left-handers in that top 7, top 8, or in fact, yeah, top almost at top order. There are just two left-handers, and you expect when one of them is opening, you expect just one left-hander to take care of in that middle over phase. So I think playing Keshav Maharaj on this wicket, I think, was a very good decision. They were playing as per the pitch, but I think probably they needed more overs from him, because just 2 overs from Trent Bolt and 2 overs from Keshav Maharaj, and these two guys in combination have gone for just 24 runs of their 4 overs. So probably they had a case for mostly Maharaj. I think he could have bowled one or two more overs in that middle overs phase, and I think that's the only thing I think they missed out on. And in the end, it all came down to those last 4-5 overs, and yeah, I think Keshav Maharaj and Bolt could have probably bowled like 1 or 2 overs extra at the beginning.
Perfect. Now that result, a great one for GT. What does that do to the points table? So there we have it. Rajasthan still at the top. They were at the top when this game started. They're still there because they won the most games out of any other team in this competition. 5 played, 4 wins, 8 points, and a good positive net run rate means the Royals are still at the top. But what it's done for GT is that it's pushed it just
Yeah.
past Punjab. Even though their net run rate is not as good as Punjab's, they pipped them on the points. 6 played, 3 wins, 3 losses. Um, Sarvesh, a good result for GT because after everything that they've been through this season, they're still scrapping, they're still
Yeah.
fighting, and they're still keeping themselves in the hunt. So good to see that.
Yeah, today we felt that GT had this. Sorry, Rajasthan Royals. I felt they had this game covered. I think I felt Rajasthan must be feeling that they had this game in their pocket for most of the times for close to 19 overs, and that just slipped out of their hands in the last in that 20th over. I think they did a very similar thing to Mumbai Indians as well. That at that time they were defending total. Today they were chasing the total. So I think now we know that why this team played two finals in last 2 seasons. Because if you push this team against the wall, they know how to make comebacks from those difficult situations. I think we know that a lot of players are missing. That this is a slightly newish team for them, but despite that, they are just performing and finding ways to come out of those difficult situations. So I think that's Gujarat for you.
One of the things I also observed today was Shubman Gill looked
Yeah,
very steely and hungry for success today.
yeah,
I mean, he was active in the field as a captain, and then even when he was batting, you could see sometimes, for people like us who see a lot of cricket and we watch a lot of cricket, we pick up these small things which we notice.
yeah,
And there was steely determination in his eyes. I think he was very disappointed when he got out because I think he
yeah,
wanted to be there to finish this game. But even then, I just thought that his total approach to this game today was I want to win this game.
yeah.
And yeah, sometimes it's just the hunger and the want that kind of makes miracles happen, which is exactly what happened in the case of the Titans today.
Yeah, sixth game. I think now he's settled in that captaincy role. I saw him. I saw very animated Shubman Gill today when that wide was given, and he was
Yeah.
very frustrated. I've never seen
Yeah,
Shubman Gill that frustrated because he was literally livid with the umpire and the decision. He did not like it at all. So yeah, this is a
yeah.
newish Shubman Gill that we are seeing, the captain Shubman Gill.
Absolutely. Right. The big one tomorrow for a Mumbai car that Sarvesh is. It's the Mumbai Indians taking on Royal Challengers Bengaluru at the Wankhede Stadium. Sarvesh, what's going to be the story for tomorrow?
I think two teams, number 8, number 9, they know they have to win matches to stay alive. And if you look at the records from 2018, they both have won 5 games each. Batting first, these two teams have managed to win four games out of 10. So I know everything almost looks like it's in balance. And if you just if you have to pinpoint at something, you can say that out of those last 5 matches, Mumbai have managed to win only one match that last season. That was at Wankhede last season. But 4 matches before that, I think RCB were winning very comfortably, and they also won that game, which is not counted there. Because they won it in a super over game, so scores were level at that time. So I think even they won it that as well. So I think RCB having some upper hand in this battle in recent years, but I think right now it looks like Mumbai Indians are looking in a slightly better position. I won't say much better, slightly better position, and RCB are having some issues. So I think this is going to be a good battle. Mumbai will play their third game in a row at Wankhede, so now they understand. They must be pretty relaxed because when you play these games in a row at one particular location, that you pretty much understand what's going to come to you, and what's going to happen. So I think that's a good sign for Mumbai, and I think uh, we don't have to talk too much about the venue Wankhede. Teams like chasing here, big totals. Normally we see that getting chased. Last time Mumbai scored 234, and DC were in the game till that 19th over. Even before that, 200, 218. Just look at the scores: 212, 214, 199, 214, and all those scores just point to one thing, that we could have another high scoring encounter tomorrow, and both teams have plenty of firepower, plenty of good batters to put on a show tomorrow.
I agree. I think it's going to be a battle of who bats better.
Yeah,
It's going to be a battle of the batters. The team that bats better is going to win. But I also feel that there'll be one person who will make the difference with the ball, and that is Jasprit
just
Bumrah,
Bumrah. Yeah,
because Mumbai have that gun in their bowling lineup, and unfortunately Bengaluru don't. And I think he might just be the difference between the two teams come the crunch time. Well, that's all that we have for you today from the Sneakometer podcast. This is match number 24 today. The Royals have tasted defeat. GT have picked up the points. The Royals still maintaining their position at the top of the table. It's Mumbai versus Bengaluru tomorrow. We'll be back same time, same place to bring you all the analysis from that game. Until then, keep watching, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep giving us your feedback because we love what we do and we love bringing this show to you. Sarvesh, anything to close off, or should we call it a night?
yeah. I think we should call it a night, because uh, there are rains in Jaipur in the month of April. Probably we'll have another episode specially dedicated to global warming. But I think we are good for today.
We finished on happy Gudi Padwa to all our viewers. We're also going to finish on a very happy and prosperous Eid to all those who are celebrating that today. So, hope you have a great day, and we'll be back with you tomorrow. Thank you so much.